So ever since I've been doing a lot more live streams and of course, like everybody is spending a lot more time on Zoom, I keep getting the question of how do you look so good on this webcam? I go, well, it's the eyelashes, the contour. I don't think that's what people are asking though. I think it all has to do with people want to know what webcam I'm using. Well, the fun, tricky thing that I'm doing is I'm using my DSLR camera as a webcam, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that today, as well as walk you through the lighting and how I make sure that I'm getting great sound quality as well. So if you want to take your live streams and your Zoom meetings to the next level, stick around. What's shakin' bacon? I'm Joni Simon. Welcome to my studio. This is where I do food photography, and the goal here is to improve your food photography skills so you can feel confident behind the camera. And like I mentioned, it's a little bit of a departure today, not directly food photography related, but I think certainly relevant to all of us as we're spending more time in online meetings. And so if you want to look super professional, I'm going to walk you through everything that I do in setting up for a live stream and how to turn that DSLR or mirrorless camera into a webcam. But before we get there, I am super excited to share that today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. Explore new skills, developing existing interests, and get lost in creativity. Now, I get messages all the time asking for help with things like, how do I get started with Photoshop? Or how do you edit your videos in Premiere? Or things like, I like food photography, but I also need to learn to shoot portraits. Well, Skillshare has tons of quality classes just for you. One that I especially like is the DIY product photography with Daniel and Rachel of Mango Street. And of course, if you're a YouTube fan, you're already familiar with their quality education, and you can take it one step further over on Skillshare. Their lessons include everything from planning the shoot to styling, lighting, tons of demos. It's not just a head talking to a screen. I love that it's applicable for both DSLR and phone shooters alike. So whether you're looking to fend off boredom, focus on self-care through creativity, or join a similarly creative community, Skillshare is the place to keep you learning. And for a limited time, the first 1,000 people to use the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership, and after that, it's only around $10 a month. I was personally just on Skillshare recently learning all about After Effects. There is no limit to the learning, and once you kick into that regular membership, it is super affordable. So thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Now let's hop on over to the tips. So now, like in photography and in life in general, there are different ways to do things. And so there's certainly different ways to connect your camera to your computer to use it for live streaming or for Zoom meetings, things like that. But this is just the method that I found super simple, super easy, not too expensive. I have to give credit where credit is due. So Ty Turner over at Flash Film Academy is actually the one who gave me the recommendation of the gear that I needed in order to make this happen. So thank you, Ty. You can find his channel linked down below. Pretty much what you're gonna need is your DSLR camera or your mirrorless. As long as it has an HDMI port, you'll be good to go. You have the HDMI cable, and then where you connect this, you don't just connect that straight into your computer. What you need is this nifty little thing right here called the Cam Link by Elgato. I wanna say it retails for about $150, so I'll be sure to link that down below. But pretty much all you have to do is plug the HDMI cord. I'm using an HDMI mini to plug into my Canon camera here, and then I plug that here into the Cam Link, which then goes right into the USB port on the computer. Because you might think, well, can I just like plug it straight into the computer? And unfortunately, no, you need this to convert that signal. I don't really know the technical behind why that is important or how that works, but it does. And then you want to make sure that your camera is in video mode. So that is going to enable then the camera to talk to the computer so that we can do the live stream. So just make sure it's not in stills mode. And then I personally like to set my camera settings, and I do that based on, I like kind of the more creamy, soft bokeh background. So I'm going at f2.8. I keep my ISO at 100 because I'm using artificial light, and so I'm able to manipulate the brightness of that. And then in terms of the shutter speed, setting that at the typical shutter speed you would for your frame rate. So in this case, I'm at 1/50th of a second. If you've got more questions about video camera settings, I have a whole video all about that. You can check that out, link down below. And so then once you've got your camera connected to the computer, you have got your camera settings set, you've turned the camera on, of course, taken the lens cap off. I'm the worst. I sometimes am like, why is the screen black? Oh, gotta take the lens cap off. Once you've got all that set, then you should be able to, for example, here in Zoom, you just toggle down into the camera settings and you can see now we have that Cam Link 4K right there. We select that and kaboom, we are on screen. We are ready to stream. Now, I have never had an issue with this working in terms of Zoom. Like, it just works every time. It's awesome. Same with Skype. But I have run into issues on some other platforms like Restream, some of those others, depending on where you're streaming from. I found I had issues in Chrome. Some of that has to do with these settings that you've set in Chrome, but if you run into issues and you're like, oh, I don't want to deal with the settings, then just hop over into Firefox. I have never had any issues in Firefox. Works every time. But now you probably already know, can anticipate what I'm going to say next, is that the camera is only half the battle. Sure, we've upgraded from that webcam where we didn't have any control over our exposure, that we're now on a camera where we can dial in the settings, we can dial in an aperture to really, get us some really nice feel of depth of field. However, what takes it to the next level is the lighting. And I'm not doing anything super sophisticated or fancy. We just have to think back to our principles of lighting that we have visited on this channel so many times before. If you've not learned these foundations, go back, watch the video down below. It will absolutely help you apply lighting to any situation. So when it comes to our faces, what do we want? Well, we don't want what we want in food, right? In food, we want to extract texture. We want to see texture. When it comes to our faces, we don't want texture, right? We want it to look all smooth and even. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have some front lighting going on, right? So I've got that light positioned in front of me so that it's falling on my face, and that we also have a really nice large light source, right? Because we remember larger light sources give us softer lighting, softer shadows, so that light falls softly on my face so that we don't have like hard shadows going on, right? Like it's just falling nice and soft and even. So this may be a large window where the light is indirect, right? You cannot see that direct line of sight of the sun, so you're getting really nice soft light falling on your face. Or if you're going with artificial lighting, a really large softbox such as I'm using, or you can shoot through a scrim or a diffusion, whatever you need to do to get that light source to be really large, that's going to help to create that really nice soft light for you. Now, I can already anticipate though, some of you are thinking, wait a minute, what if I have glasses? I'm running into this problem every time. If you're front lighting your face, then you're going to get that reflection in the glasses. Well, let's see, got my little blue blockers going on right here. Let's pop them on. Oh, no reflection. Now what happens if there's the light, we found it, right? Because I've got the light position just slightly above and to the right. So it's still falling really nicely on my face, but it's not giving me that direct reflection. So if you are wearing glasses, if you are running into that issue, just make sure that you are repositioning that light so that it is either above or to the side of your face so that you're not getting the direct reflection of the light. If you're looking to invest in lighting for your live streams or for video content, I've created a video down below. Still absolutely stand by the recommendations in that video that the Godox SL60 is going to be like the best intersection of price and quality. It's going to be a great light. You can modify it to get a really nice soft light look like I've got here today. But if you've got a little bit more budget, especially like in consideration of doing video content where we're talking, is it something like the Aputure 300D that I'm shooting with has a quieter fan. So these lights generally have some sort of fan with them to help keep them cool. The Godox ones are a little bit louder, like not to the point of being like, like you've got traffic running through your studio or something, but it's just got a little bit more of a sound to that fan as opposed to the Aputure lights or other more high quality, more expensive LED lights. So just kind of all depends on where your budget lies. But either way, I will link those recommendations down below. And then last, but absolutely not least, like I would say this is more important actually than making sure you've got this good quality video and lighting, is that your audio makes such a difference. How many times have you watched a live stream or you have been on a Zoom call and it's just like hard to listen to somebody because it sounds like they're, in a cave somewhere or in a tin can, it's super echoey. Well, what you want to do is make sure you have a good quality microphone. And you go, oh gosh, that's like another expense. Well, I tell you, it does not need to be expensive. And actually what I have started using in my live streams, you may have seen me use this before, this nifty little headset. This was less than $20 on Amazon and it does a great job. It also makes you look like an air traffic controller, right? Houston, we have a problem. Or maybe like you work in a call center. I mean, I feel really cool when I wear this. But here's why I like this. Maybe it doesn't look cool. It doesn't really matter to me. Why I like this and I like this microphone setup is this ensures that this microphone is really nice and close to your mouth. Because you can go out and get one of those really nice like Rode mics or one of these other situations, but if it's not close physically to your mouth, it's not going to make a difference, right? You're going to still get a lot of that ambient sound. But if you get a microphone like this headset where it forces that microphone really close to your mouth, it's going to block out a lot of that echo, a lot of that ambient sound. It was actually just a couple weeks ago, I was in a Zoom session with folks and construction started happening. Like the construction workers were here working on my new studio. And it was literally the other side of the wall. They were hammering and sawing and I was like, oh my goodness. But then I asked the participants who are in the session, they're like, we can't hear it. I was like, are you kidding me? There's like freaking construction happening the other side of this wall, but nobody could tell, right? Now it was super distracting for me, but from the standpoint of the quality of the video, the quality of the call, it didn't matter because I had this great microphone going on. So again, I've got this one linked down below. Before you worry about your DSLR, before you worry about all that other stuff, get a good microphone going on. Something like this can really take that quality up a notch. So we've got our good camera, we've got our good lighting, we've got our good audio, and we are good to go, right? We're looking super professional. Now, if you have done live streams before, if you have any great tips for us to share, feel free to use the comment section below. We'd love to learn from your experience and expertise as well. If you're not already, be sure to subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me in my adventures over on Instagram. And if you like this video, give it that thumbs up. But with that, I hope you have a fantastic week. I hope you stay out of trouble and we'll see you soon, okay? Bye.